shining like a black diamond. It's a part of a big stone in the Ganga river. Babaji sat in meditation right from the starting day of the Mahakumbh Mela, passing on energies to the disciples from inside this big stone in the Ganga river. And this is a part of that stone. It becomes soft and you can sense the heartbeat.
It's a very bold decision to leave the United States after being here for 10 years, to have an amazing house. Your son was about to start kindergarten. How did it make you feel?
I like this house and neighborhood a lot. It's very hard for me to leave this beautiful house while going back to India. But really if you want something, sometimes you have to leave some things. If I were bonded to this house and to this country, I would have missed so much in my life.
How was your life after you moved to India?
I told my husband while booking the tickets itself, I first wanted to land in Chennai, the holy place where Ammagaru was living that time. So me, my son and my sister, we landed in Chennai, took the blessings from Ammagaru, and from that day on, my life was so very fruitful in India. I didn't waste a single day, a single opportunity bestowed by Ammagaru upon me in all those years during my stay. The initial step was like I conducted 49 days meditations in Shri Baba temple near our house. And those initial years were not that easy in India. It was a huge transition for me and my son to get adjusted to that Indian system of education, atmosphere. I had to spend a lot of time with my son.
That must have been really hard.
But in spite of all these challenges, I never neglected my Sushumna Kriya Yoga work, because I know how hard it was here to gather few people to teach Sushumna Kriya Yoga. But in India, when I saw tens and hundreds of people coming to my session in the temple, I was so excited, and I used to thank my gurus for giving me such opportunities each time. A few months later, Ammagaru's birthday celebrations were organized at Kshatriya Kalyan Mandapam. It's a venue behind our street. At that time, I was still staying in my parents' house. My mom was in the US. My husband had yet to come. My father is the only one who could support at that time. I was new to driving in India. I'm afraid of the traffic and the busy roads there. But somehow I managed to drive with Ammagaru's grace and do my works. In spite of these pressuresome situations during those initial days in India, it's only because of Ammagaru's grace and blessings I was able to do Sushumna Kriya Yoga work to the fullest. So the first exciting opportunity given to me by Ammagaru was organizing a small skit in Ammagaru's birthday celebrations on the Sushumna Kriya Yoga Gurus. So 3 very young Sushumna Kriya Yogis were made to dress like Bhogasiddhar, Babaji Garu and Ammagaru. They were very cute and so divine that day. I am new to, I'm never used to doing such short skits or scripts before. I'm not an expert in either of the languages, English or Telugu, but that skit came out so well that I myself didn't believe that I wrote it. And it is the first time when I realized that gurus can make us do beyond expertise without any knowledge or skill in that area before.
That's awesome.
And a few months later, that was in 2013, we heard that large pujas and yajnas are going to be conducted in our native place, Murumalla. That's a beautiful village in Konasima, Godavari district. Um, uh, Initially, we were planning of distributing flyers because lakhs and lakhs of people are expected to come to the event. When I mentioned this to Ammagaru, Ammagaru told me that this is a very auspicious time. That event was conducted in a very auspicious time that is called Mahakumbhamela, and it comes once in 144 years. So this is your best chance to spread Sushumna Kriya Yoga, said Ammagaru. So then the idea of setting up a free Sushumna Kriya Yoga camp popped up in my mind. Uh, uh, because that's our native place, our grandfather's place, we managed to get the right spot in the entrance of the event. I could set up the camp there at the entrance of the event. And before the camp, Ammagaru gave us the following instructions. See, this event was planned by the 18 sacred siddhas. All the sages, saints, and higher masters who attended the Mahakumbhamela event will come to your Murumalla camp in the astral form to shower energies to you for this work, and the energies flow. The energy flow would be like a heavy rain pouring from the sky. And it's up to you whether you receive a spoonful or bucketful or more, depending on how sincerely you volunteer. I took every word of Ammagaru so seriously. It was a 13-day event. We planned it so carefully. I stayed in my grandmother's house with my son because he's not used to staying without me. And I never expected that I would be able to teach in that camp because there were many senior meditators at that time, and I was new to teaching Sushumna Kriya Yoga then. But on the first day of the camp, I was asked to teach a session, take up a session for a group of people whom I already knew from the village. And the next day also, I took a couple of sessions. They came out so good that we got instructions from Ammagaru, let Sireesha take up as many sessions as she can. And I was so happy to know that, but with my son besides me all the time, I couldn't do as many sessions. So I felt like, see, this is a golden opportunity given to me by Ammagaru. But with my son, I'm not able to do it to 100%. So I went back to Vizag, and for the first time I left my son with my husband and came back. And with Guru's grace, my son was fine without me, and this was a big surprise to our family. And I was on full duty at that camp in Murumalla. There was an enormous improvement in my way of teaching. My voice changed completely. It became so pleasant. My own family members could feel a huge difference. My father, my cousin, they told me it's not my voice.
The gurus must have fine-tuned your voice for this divine work.
Yeah, and even some of our volunteers used to come to me during the camp and tell me, see, this time your omkaras are like Ammagarus, like in between the sessions. So I was so happy about that. It was a great blessing to be at the teaching seat in the camp. Energies were pouring continuously by the gurus. I could do sessions right from morning till night continuously without feeling a bit of tiredness or weariness in me. In those 13 days event, with Guru's blessings, I was able to initiate 12,000 people into the practice of Sushumna Kriya Yoga.
That's awesome.
Later, when I reflected how I could do this, it's all because of the grace and blessings of Ammagaru. I could do such a massive and divine event.
It's really exciting for you to be able to live your life and your dream to the fullest. Not many people can do that.
Yeah. A few days after the event, when I went back to Vizag, Babaji gifted me with the most precious gift ever, Saligramam. We swept the floor just then. I'm very sure there was nothing there. When someone called me, I went out and just directed them how to come to the Dhyana Mandir. And at that place, when I looked back, I saw Saligramam placed on the floor of the Dhyana Mandir, and it's shining like a black diamond. Uh, like I immediately took it with great respect, guessing that this should be Guru's blessing. When I got a chance to ask Ammagaru about this, Ammagaru told me, yes, this is the gift to you by Babaji Garu, because you taught selflessly to 12,000 people during the Mahakumbha Mela time. Babaji gifted this to you. Ammagaru also told me that this stone is a part of a big stone in the Ganga river. Babaji sat in meditation right from the starting day of the Mahakumbha Mela till the ending day of the Mahakumbha Mela, passing on energies to the disciples from inside this big stone in the Ganga river. And this is a part of that stone carved to Saligramam before gifting it to you, said Ammagaru. So I'm so blessed to have this Babaji Garu Saligramam with me, and it's a highly energetic stone. If you whoever holds this stone and meditates for a few minutes, they could feel the pulse, as if they were holding a living being. You can sense it becomes soft, and you can sense the heartbeat. Many of them visited, many of the Ammagaru's disciples visited my house to see and experience the energies of Babaji Garu's stone, and each one had their own unique experience. Since then, after Babaji Garu gifted me this stone, Ammagaru has been giving me great opportunities to spread Sushumna Kriya Yoga, and this Saligramam is helping me to fill with sufficient energies from time to time to do those higher works bestowed upon me by the Gurus.
That's interesting. Higher works. Could you please give me an example?
That was in 2014. Ammagaru gave me an opportunity to host a public class in Vizag. I got this permission 3 or 4 months ahead. So I went and booked the Kalabharati venue immediately. A few months later, we came to know that some of the seats in the venue were broken, and in order to cover up those missing seats, we had to place extra chairs outside the hall, and that we would have to put a screen for the audience to follow the Ammagaru session. I didn't like this idea because I had a high respect to my gurus and to the technique they gave to us. I always wanted to launch Ammagaru sessions in a very grand manner, so that every audience, everyone who comes to the to Ammagaru's Diksha program would be seated very comfortably to receive those maximum energies dissipated from the Gurus. So, but some of our co-Kriya Yogis didn't like this idea. They are waiting eagerly for the darshan of Ammagaru, and if this class was cancelled, they would miss that.
Oh, then what did you do?
Luckily, after a few weeks, I found out the Port Kalavani Auditorium. It's a way bigger hall with more than 1,000 capacity. Now the challenge was how to publicize so as to reach the huge audience. Till then, we were targeting only a few hundreds, but targeting over 1,000 is a great challenge. But with Ammagaru's grace, I could manage to put up the boardings in the right places around that area, like moving around the city, putting up, like searching the right spot for the boardings, coordination, arrangements. So till then I was driving only the local roads of the city, but with these works I had to drive in the most busiest roads of my city. I was doing so much of planning, arrangements, coordinating and driving because Ammagaru was flowing continuous energies onto me for this work. How I realized this was one day I was upset with some coordination work with our volunteers regarding Ammagaru's stay during the event. I lost my confidence during that discussion and I paused my work for the rest of the day. Towards the end of the day, I got a call from Prashantama, Ammagaru's sister, saying that Ammagaru wanted me to convey you not to get upset on minor things that will obstruct the flow of the energies from the gurus onto you for this work. I was so surprised as how Ammagaru knew my state and could send me the message at the right time. Then I understood the connection between me and my guru. Once we surrender ourselves completely to our guru and commit ourselves to work for Sushumna Kriya Yoga, we'll be under the constant surveillance and care of Ammagaru all the time. Ammagaru will be flowing us continuous energies and make us do our works with extra talent and skill without any expertise or prior knowledge in that area. That boat Kalavani class came out extraordinary. The hall was filled with 1,400 audience to its full capacity, and the event was very successful. That was the first time for me to host such an event. Till then, I was not even used to organize even a small birthday party in my house. My husband or my parents always took that responsibility. But with Ammagaru's grace and blessings, I was able to organize and host many more Ammagaru's public classes like these in the future.